Distribution International is a leading manufacturer and supplier of laminated metal building insulation and customized high R-value systems available through our national distribution footprint. We work closely with architects, contractors, and erectors to provide custom insulation solutions for your construction projects, and deliver excellence by partnering with industry-leading manufacturers to bring exceptional product knowledge and reliable in-stock availability. DI is proud to present its newest product line offering, Everliner FP. Our exclusive Everliner FP system offers efficiency, value, and reliability with this high R-value insulation and OSHA-compliant leading-edge fall protection system while providing safety for rooftop workers. Everliner FP, when installed by a DI-certified contractor, can provide OSHA-compliant leading-edge fall protection, increasing productivity by eliminating the need for cumbersome tie-offs with harness and lanyard assemblies, giving your workers the freedom to easily move across the finished roof deck. Everliner FP has been evaluated to ensure it meets OSHA construction and steel erection safety net requirements for fall protection under 29 CFR 1926.502C. This testing involves the drop of a 400-pound sandbag onto a safety net from a height of 42 inches above the highest walking or working surface, while not striking the ground or structures below. The Everliner FP system consistently passes this strict test. Our welding technology produces smooth, tight fabric seams by vacuum and laser aligning the material before being heated, using precision-controlled hot air and compression sealing, creating seams that are stronger than the fabric itself. Tensile testing is conducted daily on actual production samples of Everliner FP fabric to ensure your safety. Only samples that exhibit a seam strength more than double the noted failure strength meet our standards for use in an Everliner FP system. When properly installed, the Everliner system allows for maximum fiberglass thermal recovery by allowing the lower cavity fill layer of unfaced insulation to expand to its intended performance thickness. This is ideal for metal buildings and other applications requiring optimal thermal performance to meet today's strict building and energy code requirements. All IECC and ASHRAE energy code standards can be met using one of many Everliner FP system configurations to ensure thermal code compliance. Both the formaldehyde-free fiberglass insulation and Everliner FP fabric feature an FHC 25/50 flame spread and smoke-developed rating per ASTM E84 and UL 723. In addition, our bright white cross-woven polyethylene fabric features a .02 perm rating and a nearly seamless appearance when compared to traditional faced blanket installations. This durable material resists tears and provides a barrier to minimize air leakage while greatly improving acoustical performance. The Everliner FP system offers excellent thermal isolation from the secondary structural steel to help prevent condensation. The Everliner FP system is an insulation liner support system consisting of a grid of support straps made of galvanized steel banding, white support fabric, and unfaced fiberglass insulation. Each piece of support fabric is custom-made to fit a specific location within the building. Our most common roof application consists of a lower layer of unfaced fiberglass insulation cut to fit each purlin space on the roof, while the second layer is installed over the purlins, acting as a thermal break between the purlin and outer metal roof panels. These insulation layers combine to achieve the desired pre-installed R value for your specific project requirements. In the walls, most applications consist of a single layer of unfaced fiberglass insulation within the building's girt cavity and a 1/4 inch thermal foam tape installed between the girt and outer metal wall panel. In addition, wall systems can be provided in 2-layer configurations with a second or outer layer of perforated faced fiberglass insulation, increasing the installed system's U values. For both applications, the fabric is supported using the white galvanized banding installed vertically, spaced to match the roof banding. Parallel bands must never be spliced. For purlin spaces 42 inches or greater, install 2 bands per space. If purlin space is less than 42 inches, install 1 band. Note: eave and ridge spaces always require 2 bands, regardless of width. Fasten these bands to the top flange of end wall rafters only using 2 1¼ inch self-drilling fasteners supplied with the Everliner FP system. Pull banding hand tight to the opposite end wall rafter and fasten in the same manner. Important: To provide OSHA-compliant leading-edge fall protection, parallel bands must only be fastened to the end wall rafters. This ensures fall protection is provided within 6 feet of the intermediate rafters if the fabric and banding is completely installed in the bays sharing a common intermediate rafter. Never fasten parallel bands to intermediate rafters. Install a series of perpendicular cross bands to the bottom flange of the eave strut, starting exactly 6 inches from the rafter edge, using the 3/4 inch metal Tek screw with washer. Remaining perpendicular bands should be evenly spaced no more than 60 inches on center. Make sure to remove twists during installation of perpendicular bands and weave above every 5th or 6th parallel band, and above both bands in the ridge space. Fasten to the opposite eave strut using the 3/4 inch metal Tek screw with washer. Important: refer to the Everliner FP wall instructions for banding spacing requirements if you are using the system in both the roof and walls. When screwing into the roof banding, ensure the fastener is centered on banding. In double slope applications, open and place the Everliner FP support fabric between the 2 ridge purlins, with the finished side, typically white, facing the interior of the structure. Pull one edge down the slope beneath the purlins towards the eave strut. Use C-clamps to temporarily hold in place. Turn the fabric stack over when deploying the remaining fabric on the opposite slope. This allows the material to deploy from the top of the stack as the fabric is being pulled towards the opposite sidewall. If installing on a single slope building, open and position the fabric near the high eave strut and repeat the above steps. Once the fabric is clamped and square to the bay, remove fasteners and banding at the eave strut. Pull the fabric taut and apply brush adhesive or optional 2-sided tape to the bottom of the eave strut, and reattach the fabric using banding and 3/4 inch metal Tek screw with washer in the same holes where previously located. Install a second 3/4 inch metal Tek screw with washer into the eave strut during this step. Adhesives must be applied to clean, dry surfaces. Beginning at the eave, move towards the ridge. Notch the fabric around the purlins and seal to the top of the rafters with brush adhesive or optional 2-sided tape, with 2 crewmen working in unison and pulling fabric tight across the bay length, parallel to the purlins. Next, moving from the eave strut in the direction of the ridge, install the supplied 3/4 inch metal Tek screws and washers at the intersection of each crossband and purlin. Straighten and smooth the fabric as needed as this process proceeds. If you will be roofing only one slope at a time, the final fastener is screwed into the far ridge purlin. If you will be roofing both slopes of the bay at once, proceed from the ridge down the remaining slope and complete this process at the far eave strut. Important: for Everliner FP to be relied upon to provide OSHA-compliant leading-edge fall protection, parallel bands must never be fastened to intermediate rafters. When installed as specified, leading-edge fall protection is provided within 6 feet of the intermediate rafters as long as the fabric and banding are completely installed in the bays sharing a common intermediate rafter. Unfaced fiberglass insulation can now be installed on the liner fabric. The first, lower layer is to be installed between the purlins and provided by DI in custom-cut widths based on the building's purlin spacing. Compare metal building frame cross-sections with provided job site cut list to determine location of insulation rolls. Some rolls may be provided slightly wider than building drawings specify to ensure a snug fit. The second, top layer of unfaced fiberglass insulation is now installed above the lower layer of unfaced insulation, perpendicular to the purlins, creating a thermal break between the purlins and metal roof panels. If thermal blocks are required, not provided by DI, install per building manufacturer's instructions. Important: completely filling the space between the outer metal panel and Everliner FP fabric with unfaced insulation will help to prevent condensation. As the second layer of unfaced insulation is installed, install metal roof panels and accessories per metal building manufacturer's instructions. Only after these steps have been fully and correctly completed by an Everliner certified installer. Leading-edge fall protection, as defined by OSHA, Title 29 CFR 1926.502, is now present in roof areas where the Everliner FP system is correctly installed. Fall protection is not provided within 6 feet of any roof edge and within 6 feet of any common rafter where the Everliner FP system has not been completely installed in both bays. Alternative measures for fall protection must be used in those areas, and roof perimeter warning line stands should be present. The Everliner FP system is not intended for high humidity applications, those exceeding consistent relative humidity levels greater than 30%, and should never be used in buildings housing open sources of water such as pools. The Everliner FP system is designed solely for single-use leading-edge fall protection and not for walking or stepping. Should a fall occur, all components, including fabric and banding, must be replaced before the Everliner FP system can once again be relied upon for fall protection. Completely filling the space between the outer metal panel and Everliner FP fabric with unfaced insulation will help to prevent condensation. Apply the supplied 1/4 inch thick by 3 inch wide adhesive-backed Everliner thermal foam tape to the exterior side of wall girts and framed openings. Cut insole hold hangers to 30-inch lengths, which will accommodate most girt spaces, and insert them between the girt and wall sheeting extending 1 to 2 inches above the girt flange, and bend inward to support hanger. Ensure that the stamped arrows are pointed up and bent inward at a 45-degree angle. Hangers should be placed on 36-inch centers and are not provided for girt spaces 24 inches or less. Cut pieces of unfaced fiberglass insulation to the girt spacing height plus 1 inch for a snug fit, and place vertically within the cavity. Impale the unfaced onto the insole hold arrows for support. Insulation may be installed horizontally for standard height girt spaces if provided by DI. Install the supplied 1-inch adhesive transfer tape to the eave, base, and mainframe flanges, including wall openings around the perimeter of each wall section. Do not peel off tape's liner. Unwrap the supplied Everliner FP fabric at the floor level and deploy the fabric up the wall towards the eave, spreading the fabric evenly over the entire wall section. Use C-clamps to temporarily hold the fabric in place on both sides. Move to the base angle and begin removing the tape's liner in the center of the wall section, moving in opposite directions towards the sides of the wall section, pulling the fabric tight while sticking the fabric to the tape. Move up both sides of the fabric edges following these steps. Finally, remove the C-clamps at the top and complete the fabric installation by moving across the top edge, sealing to the tape. Install vertical 1-inch wide banding at 60 inches on center from the eave strut to the base angle using the supplied 3/4 inch Metal-Tech screws with washers. If installing the Everliner wall system in a building where the Everliner roof system is being used, it is recommended that the bands be positioned in line with the cross bands of the roof system. Every effort should be made to connect the Everliner roof and wall fabric for a proper building envelope seal. The Everliner FP system can also be installed as a retrofit system in the roof and walls of metal buildings. See your local DI sales rep for more information. For more detailed instructions, visit www.distributioninternational.com or call 214-637-0151. 214-637-0151.